Hello and welcome to ABC Action News at 6:30. I'm Nadine Yanis. Thank you for joining us tonight. We do begin with developing news on this Saturday. As Manatee County Sheriff's Office says, evidence shows the body found in a pond in Bradenton yesterday is that of 18-year-old Giovanni Pelletier. This was the teen who went missing while on vacation here last week.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Patrick Hanks, a certified first aid firearms instructor. Me and my brother recently just started a self-defense company. And yeah, this is absolutely tragic. The recent discovery of human remains of Giovanni Pelletier has really shook up the Tampa Bay area where we're from, and we just kind of wanted to give our opinion on the situation.
Hey, and I'm Zach. To add to that, nothing in this video is meant to be taken as an attack on the victim or the family affected by this tragedy.
Alright, so taking a brief look at the timeline of events, we'll see that Giovanni was picked up at about 1:30 a.m. on August 1st by two of his paternal cousins from Mims, along with a friend of theirs, according to the Charlotte County Sheriff's investigators. By 1:51 a.m., the team began reaching out to several relatives. He sent a text to his mother that read, "Mom, help." Other texts were sent to his grandfather and another aunt. All were asleep. Giovanni also tried to call and FaceTime those he reached out to, but there were no answers. The mother also reported a 2:37 a.m. phone call from Giovanni's paternal grandfather in Mims, who said in a voicemail that there was some type of altercation and that Giovanni's cousins left him along the road. Those same cousins arrived in Mims that morning and later told Charlotte County Sheriff's investigators that the teen had been acting erratically during the car ride and that he got out of the vehicle. Authorities had searched the swampy area close to the southbound off-ramp near State Road 70 not long after he went missing on August 1st, but it was the private investigation group hired by the family that ultimately found Pelletier's remains Friday.
So, his cousins, whom he hadn't met in person up to this point, had left very late into the night, arriving at where his family was staying sometime around 1:30 a.m., with a plan to arrive in Mims, presumably around 4 a.m. If we're to believe the cousin's story, he was acting erratically after smoking marijuana during the car ride, though as of this moment, we don't yet have the toxicology report to back this. Sometime between 2:30 a.m. when his grandfather left a voicemail that Giovanni was left on the side of the road, and the next morning when his bag was discovered, he was already dead in a retention pond near the southbound off-ramp. Here's my thing. I'm curious if what he smoked was laced with something harder, or if he got far too high than he otherwise expected. The sheriff reported when they searched the cousin's vehicle there was no obvious signs of foul play.
The family gave it to us, said take it, do whatever you need to do with it. We did. We took it. We had our crime scene team go through it and reported back to Charlotte County that there was no evidence of any type of wrongdoing that was part of it.
So if any occurred, it likely occurred outside the vehicle where they stopped to let him out. It's still a mystery how someone high on just marijuana would end up drowning in a small retention pond, especially looking at the street view of the surrounding area. It makes no sense to try and go for a late night swim instead of heading toward the lights of a nearby business.
In my opinion, it's safe to say that he was likely dead between those times, but honestly, it's uncertain. All we know for sure is that Gio was dead sometime between when the grandfather called at 2:37 a.m. and a week later when the body was found. I personally haven't ruled out foul play. Without the release of the toxicology report, it leaves much in the air to question about how or when Giovanni ended up in that retention pond. Let's take a look at this video of Giovanni's family members reflecting on the cousins Gio was hanging out with that morning.
I personally do not know these boys at all, so I can't comment on their character, but I do know that I would never leave someone on the side of the road. Everyone knows something is wrong with the story.
As tragic as this is, I think it's important that we look at this from a self-defense standpoint and ask ourselves, what can we do to prevent this from happening not only to ourselves, but our family members as well? Again, we just want to reiterate that we're not casting blame on the victim or the victim's family. We just want to provide information that we think can help prevent tragedies like this in the future. So right off the bat, potential lesson number 1, verify the people you're going to be hanging out with. Not saying Giovanni didn't have a good idea of who he was hanging out with that morning, but from the information online, it seemed he entered a car with relatives he hadn't met before in person. As a self-defense instructor, I would stress the importance of only traveling with people you know and trust. Number 2, call authorities immediately if you feel threatened. Investigators noted that Giovanni texted help rather than calling 911. In a dangerous situation, dialing emergency services is critical. Texting loved ones is good, but in life or death moments, an actual 911 call brings professional help faster. Number 3, simply being trained in first aid. Emergencies don't always involve violence. Accidents, medical episodes, or environmental hazards can happen without warning. Having the check call care algorithm in mind could potentially lead to better decision making. Giovanni Pelletier's story is a tragedy, and the unanswered questions weigh heavily on his loved ones. While we may never know every detail of what happened that night, we can use this moment to strengthen our own safety habits. Verify who you travel with, share your location, trust your instincts, and be trained to respond in an emergency. If this video helped you think about your safety differently, share it with someone you care about. And to Giovanni's family, our thoughts are with you as you continue to search for answers.